The greatest power you possess is your ability to choose. Join Lowe's Moore as he reveals how you can begin to maximize that power by exploring yourself on the deepest levels and committing to making lasting and positive changes. Get ready to achieve breakthroughs that will lead to accelerated growth and transformation, because you are now tuned in to The Blueprint.
Why the actions contradict the lamb. I'm fellowshipping when I'm with the fam. That's more relations, that's forming a phonic.
Good evening. This is Lowe's Moore, and welcome back to the Blueprint Podcast. Again, if I got to say, you should say it with me. I am excited to be back with you this evening, another evening. And let me start right away. I'm going to drop this is a little basketball, but it's also what I consider is my pebble. I'm dropping it in the pond. I'm expecting a ripple effect of this show today. We got an amazing guest. But before we get to it, before we get started, I want to take a moment, right? And I want to remember my first coach, right? My first coach ever in basketball as a little, I think 9-10-year-old kid. I just want to tell you this real quick. I tried out, and maybe you'll believe this or believe it or believe it not, was that I was at the Southside Boys Club. Back in the days, Southside, Northside Boys and Girls Club, Boys and Girls Club, just Boys Club. And, you know, I played in 4th Street Playground, 7th Avenue Playground, 7th Avenue. Some of you guys remember these. 8th Avenue. I used to just travel around with my friends playing all over Mount Vernon. And finally, one day, my friends went into the Boys Club. I didn't even know what it was. And I walked by it every single day going to elementary school. Nathan Hell, now Cecil H. Parker. And my friends went in one afternoon and I was like, what's this? And they invited me to come in to the Boys Club. And I just knew the building was there. I didn't know what was in it. It was a game room. I went in, it was somebody at the desk, game room, upstairs, arts and craft, and then went into that huge gym. I was like, wow, man, this has been here all the years that I've been walking by this every single day. And I went home and asked my mom if I could become a member. And of course, she gave me the resources to become a member of the club. She checked it out first, and I went in. Other than that, I was just playing in the playground with some of my friends, just messing around. I didn't know if I had any talent or not. But anyway, to the moral of the story is that I went into eventually a few months later, they had a tryout. I tried out for the Southside Boys Club basketball team. And of course, me and my friend, I call David Jones, we call him Dave Bing, right? And I end up I got cut from the team. It was my first experience of being cut. David got cut, right? I was messed up over that I didn't make the team. Not that I thought I was better than anybody. Not that I even thought I did good. I was just upset that I didn't make the team. And on the way home, David was skipping and hopping and having a good time. And I was mad. I was mad that I got cut. And so he said, we're going over to the Northside Boys Club on Saturday. And I was like, nah, I'm not going over to the Northside Boys Club, because if I get cut again, I can't take being not making teams. I don't even know what it is to be on a team. I've never been on a team. So, but it just felt bad. Saturday morning comes, David comes knocking on the door early Saturday morning, man. And my mother's like, hey, David's at the door. And David's like, come on, man, we're going to the North Side. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not going over the North Side, man. He said, come on, man, get up. Come on, let's go. And he convinced me to get up and go over to the North Side. We walked all the way across town to the North Side from the South Side. We walk in, and we did the same exact thing at this club that we did at the other club. Sign in, because if you were a member at one club, you were a member at the other club. And you sign in, and somebody said you can go downstairs. And so as we're walking downstairs, this little guy is coming up the stairs. He's kind of running up the stairs with all this energy. He said, hey, man, my name is Calvin Jones, right? They call me CJ. And I was like, oh, okay. Call me CJ. CJ, okay. You guys want to play basketball, right? On a basketball team? And we're like, yeah, sure. So we go downstairs. He gives us a uniform. No tryout. Right. I was like, man, I'm on the team. Right? I'm on the team. And then they had another team that was there. We played against them. I had never played organized basketball, but he put me in the game, right? And I was running up and down the court. I took the ball, stole the ball, ran in. And many of you know the story. I made the layup, but as on my way in, I saw CJ waving like, "Hey, hey," and I thought I did something good because I stole the ball and I laid it in the basket. And he called timeout. He brought me over. He said, "Man, no problem, right? But you just scored in the wrong basket." That was there, and I was like, I'm surely gonna get cut now. And he said, "No, no, no, you're gonna be good. Just go back out there and play." And we did. Went back out and played. And that's my first experience with CJ. Right? He, not that he just knew the game. He knew the fundamentals of the game. Right? And the thing I love about it, right? When everybody wants to win at all costs today and don't spend time developing and helping young people develop, particularly when they young, when they real young, to enjoy the game, right? To learn the game and give you an opportunity. That's what I remember about CJ, man. And we're going to pay tribute to him. We're going to pay tribute to him. We're going to remember CJ. We're going to take these next few minutes, and there's going to be a couple of people, man. I mean, there could be thousands of people, right, that could come on here and talk about CJ and how he's been a blessing to their life and how he sold into their life. But we're going to hear from a few people. We just want to acknowledge CJ just because we miss him, man. We miss having him around and talking to him and spending time with him, man. He will sorely be missed by so many. Let me say this final point, right? Everybody wants to be in the church and everybody wants to preach. Everybody wants to, and we look at that only thing, the opportunity for ministry is to preach or to be a deacon or to sing in the choir or to be an usher. But CJ was an amazing minister, right? He ministered in his sphere of influence, right? He ministered as a coach. Coaching is a ministry too. I mean, think about how many thousands of young men and young women that CJ touched, right? And they loved CJ. Man, they would go home, man, CJ said this, CJ did that, right? So, man, CJ, God bless you, man, for the lives that you touch while you were here. We miss you. We love you, man. We love your family, man. And we sorely miss you. And we just want to take this time out to remember you and to pay tribute to a man, to the man and the legend, Calvin C.J. Jones.
Good morning. My name is Curtis Moore. I'm here today to talk about one person only. His name is Calvin C.J. Jones. Yeah, baby. Calvin was a good man. He was a good coach. He was a good father. He was a good leader. Everybody in the community respected him. I joined Calvin's organization at the Boys and Girls Club with his traveling coaching teams, coaching young kids, helping young kids. I remember when we was at 4th Street Park, me and Ricky Stanley used to go at it, and I brought my team. Calvin's like, "Oh man, I like the way you operate, man. You do take care of your kids." I went out and brought my kids. We just had T-shirts, but I went out and made sure everybody was looking quarterly and looking, good. And, Calvin loved that about me. And Calvin taught me a lot. I learned a little more about coaching. I knew the game, but he knew the game more than what I knew. So he helped me out a whole bunch and a whole lot throughout my life. And, with my kids growing up at the Boys Club, teaching them how to play ball too. But I enjoy coaching with Calvin, hanging out with Calvin when we was on them trips in Chicago and all that. We in a hotel and we all having a good time, and supporting everybody. That was the most important thing. Everybody support each other, came and watched everybody's team play. But Calvin, you are missed in the community and all over Mount Vernon. Your name will never not be missed. You are a legend coach and money earning Mount Vernon for life. CJ, as we close here, miss you, love you, until we see each other again. Rest in peace, my brother. Always. Big boy. Big guy. You know what I'm saying?
CJ, Calvin Jones. Wow. Just to think about him brings tears to my eyes. Great man. He was a giant amongst men. I will always remember CJ. Always. Always. He was a help in a time of trouble. I mean, listen, what else can I say? But he will always be missed. Thank you for the memorable moments that we had together.
And that's CJ Calvin Jones. He's one who gave his all to the young man and young ladies of the Mount Vernon Boys and Girls Club and any other program that he became involved in. He wanted to make sure they all looked good, played hard, and gave 100%. And he also gave 100% of his time, energy, and love to the kids. CJ, you will be missed. I, for one, that would be remiss if I didn't say how grateful I was to be in your company. I enjoyed how we worked together, and you are truly missed. Your energy and laughter is missing, but we're grateful to have been in your company. Look over us in heaven, and may God continue to bless your soul.
This is Coach Dave Newton. I'm here at Mount Vernon High School gym. One of my fondest memories of CJ was when I first started coaching at the Boys and Girls Club. He went out his way to make me feel welcome, and he always encouraged me, telling me I need to stop being an assistant coach and grab a team. From the first team I grabbed, we ended up winning a championship. So, CJ, you'll always be my memory, and rest in peace, bro.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to talk a little bit about Calvin Jones today because how much he's really been an impactful person in my life. He was the reason why I started coaching. He gave me my first head coaching job at the Boys and Girls Club of Mount Vernon, and he allowed me to grow and to teach young kids how to learn the game of basketball and how to develop and how to improve, everyday life situations. Basketball can definitely be applied to, life situations. So he allowed me to do that, and I'm blessed to say that I had an opportunity to coach a lot of kids that have now, went on to college and, did some really great things. So I'm happy to be a part of the journey and with the group of men that, that have always been my big brothers, have been my guidance. And we all taken up that, mantle in terms of what CJ did for us, which is give us that opportunity that, allowed us to impact generations of men, and giving them a better opportunity at, life. There's a lot of kids that don't have their dads in their lives or don't have that support system that they need. And so we became that support system. And so we stand today, because of what CJ did for us back then, and what he continues to do and how we go about inspiring young men and women to just, go for their dreams, and every day presents a different challenge. So I'm thankful for everything that CJ did for me and what he continues to do and for me, and the guidance that he imprinted upon us. So I'm definitely blessed to have him, or to have had him for as long as I did. Miss him very much, but he's definitely been that bright light for all of us. So I'm going to continue to do what he did. And thank you very much. Hope everyone is enjoying their evening and enjoy the show.
Welcome back, and I'm gonna flip some things around here, and I usually do. Um, I usually have my books of the week and different things like that. I think I'm gonna push them to the end, and I want to show you a highlight of tonight's guest, and we're gonna jump right into a conversation. I'll make sure that I'll get my books in, and my other attributes in before the show is over. But let me show you this highlight of my tonight's guest because I think our conversation is also pivotal in regards to Coach CJ. Yeah, Jabari Hinds.
Hey, what's up,
Welcome to the
Los? How you
Blueprint.
doing?
I'm good,
How you
man. I'm
doing,
good.
man?
I'm good. Hey, let me say
Thanks
this
for
right off.
having me.
You're welcome. Hey, let me say this right off the back, man. It hasn't really been that many lefties in Mount Vernon. I mean, there've been lefties, but good lefties.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, and I'm sure their earlier Ron Flemings, who's from Mount Vernon, out in California, doing amazing coaching out
hmm
there. Doing. We're talking about CJ, but CJ, Mr. Jones, and a number of other coaches back in the day, uh, was instrumental in us,
Yeah.
growing up becoming, good basketball players and good people. And, he was one to go on. He's got a number of books out, who was lefty too, that went on to
hmm
coach. I mean, he's got a few state championships out in California where he's at. So there probably were other left-handed players in Mount Vernon. I don't know. They probably was good.
I
I
played with
don't.
a couple. I played with a couple coming up. I remember. Now that I'm
Yeah,
thinking about it, yeah.
yeah. But to reach the next level, the next levels.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot of them that reached from Mount Vernon, particularly reached the next level, and you did, So,
Mhm.
before we get rolling, you see, we did that little tribute to
Yeah, that was a nice
CJ.
tribute, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we could have did 1 million people, but I
No,
mean,
for sure. For sure.
yeah. So talk about your first experience with CJ, man. Your whole introduction to him, and your experience with him.
My first experience, me and CJ, I remember I was living on the other side of town, like around near the high school area. The Boys and Girls Club was on South 6, so I used to have to go over there to go out there. But I went for the first time, and I remember I met him. And like you say, he was just filled with so much energy. Me, I didn't really know what I was going to expect. I just started like playing basketball with like other kids. I used to play in my backyard, and since I went, I just liked it there. I always tell my parents I always like going to the Boys and Girls Club to train and stuff like that. And he helped me a lot, just helping me get better at a young age. I had some great things that I can do at a young age, but he helped me get better with stuff that I didn't really want to do. That's what I noticed about CJ. And the way how he, taught me the stuff he did, I understood it. And like, I just remembered it, I always remember his energy, though. That's one thing I always remember, his energy. When he coached me, that was my second coach. If you want to count it, in elementary school, I played in like the little elementary school league they had, and Kenny Davenport was my first coach. And then right after that, that's when I started up going to the Boys and Girls Club. He's the first coach that brought me on the road, like travel for games and stuff like that. So there was a lot of stuff about CJ. We could go on and on about that. I'll never forget, and I'm just thankful for it all. And man, rest in peace. And
Yeah,
that's that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. Yeah, we do remember, another good lefty.
Who was that?
Went to school with, not at the same time, but went to UMass too. Was Chris
Oh
Lowe?
yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
How can we forget Chris?
Yeah, I'm tripping. CeeLo's tough.
Yeah, he
CeeLo
was tough, man.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna hit that league too. He was balling out, man. At
He
UMass.
was.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, he had it figured out for sure.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
one of the things. Oh, here's a weird thing. I thought I would say. Okay, I'll give you another one, man. I don't know how we could forget. Yeah, my mind must be shut down. So he ended up breaking Dr. J's record back in the day. Dr. J only played. Remember back in the day when Dr. J played, you couldn't play as a freshman, right?
Wow.
You couldn't play as a freshman, right? So, and then he played 2 years, right? He played his sophomore year, junior year before he got drafted into the ABA. Dr. J, right? Donald Russell played with my brother Curtis and Ricky Burton back in the day. Lefty. He
Ricky Burton.
No, Donald Russell.
Oh, Donald Russell. Okay.
They call him Cornbread.
Cornbread.
Hey, he could score. I mean,
he's a bucket.
Oh yeah, he was getting buckets, But nice. Yeah, he was doing work in Mount Vernon. I mean, but it's this long line of good left-handers. Come. Of course, there was a bunch of right-handers. Mostly,
of course.
But Donald Russell. So we found some. We probably gonna find some more before the night is over. But that's hot. I got the craziest thing was I'm in California, right? And I'm with Losey, and we're going to visit a friend, right? And so we're in there, going to the, walking, parking the car, getting in the elevator, and push the button, and the elevator door opens up, and you're standing in it.
Remember that? Yeah, I was gonna say I remember. That's crazy. I remember seeing Lowe's. That was so random.
It was. I was like, that guy looked like Jabarie.
There wasn't he? That
Lowe's
was
like,
random.
that is Jabarie. I was like, that was
All
crazy,
over
man.
LA. That was crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy, man. It's a small world.
Real small.
Yeah, we got a chance to holler at each other for a moment, but that was the weirdest
Yeah.
thing. I was like, man, when the door
Who would
opened
have
up, I
thought?
was like saying to myself, my mind, I was like, man, that guy looked like Jabarie. Lily said, Dad, that is Jabarie.
Yeah, I definitely
Oh
remember
man.
that though.
Yeah, that was funny, man. So let's digress before we get back into your basketball career experiences.
Hmm.
Talk to me a little bit about um, mom and dad growing up in Mount Vernon, your siblings growing up, with them and stuff like that. So talk a little bit about that, you know, that
Well,
experience.
growing up, I was the youngest, so I was always doing something, whether doing some chores for my sisters or just stuff around the house. But honestly, it was good growing up. Like I said, I grew up with one brother, four sisters, and they all were supportive. And I was the youngest, so I just used to just figure out what can I do. Everybody was older than me, so I didn't have that much say. So I just kind of like stay in my lane, go in the backyard, play football, basketball, stuff like that. When I'm inside, I make sure I do the stuff I have to do in here, and then I can like play video games, stuff like that. But my parents, they brought all of us up. They raised us well. Everybody today is, doing something good, either working or, doing other stuff. So can't complain about growing up in a household that I was growing up in. It
Yeah.
was real good. Yeah.
Yeah. And how was it in regards to because I know when I talk about family and the
Hmm.
power and importance of family is so powerful and so important. Um, was there, eh, a lot of stress or demands in regards to, um, faith and education?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, honestly, I didn't really like school, but it got to that point when I started to take basketball serious. I had to, pass all my classes at a good grade to play basketball. So from young, that just, stuck with me. I knew if I wanted to play basketball, keep playing, I have to go to school. So that was something really that they, took a lot of importance on, doing your schoolwork and studying and stuff like that. But I kind of got used to it a little bit, but overall, I didn't really like school. But I graduated college, now I'm playing pro, so I can't complain. I guess everything's working out. Yeah,
Yeah, and somebody has to push us through.
yeah, exactly. But it all worked out for the best, for the
Yeah,
better. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
yeah. And when I don't know if you knew this or not, I don't think I was I may have been coaching with the high school at the time with Coach Semino, and I
Around what
think,
time?
well, I coached my first. Ben was a junior.
Okay,
Started
yeah.
starting Ben's junior year, and I think I coached 5 years. But in the midst of it,
Hmm.
I think while I was at the Boys and Girls Club, and in between that time, I got a chance to see your sister play. Right,
Hmm.
and in any of your game, did you get a chance to see your sister play?
Yeah, for sure. Like growing
Yeah,
up, that was the only basketball games I was going to. Like if I wasn't playing, so
yeah.
yeah, I seen a lot of my sister games
Okay, what did you
in
think of her
college and in
game?
high school. Uh, she's a little aggressive. We have totally different games. I'm more, you know, fast paced, but she was solid though. She was
Yeah,
solid. I say yeah.
I think she
Only me
shoot.
and her played. Like out of the family, that's weird. Only me and my sister played basketball.
Yeah, she was
So
tough, man.
nah,
Woo.
she was. Yeah, she
Yeah,
was.
she didn't like losing either.
Nah, very competitive.
Yeah, did you,
Yeah.
you guys ever play one on one with each other?
Yeah, we played. But not recently, of course, and she
No,
don't
no,
play no
no,
more. But
not
like
recently,
growing
but
up,
I'm
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, growing up, yeah, we used to play 1-on-1 and stuff like that. That's what she was playing, and I was kind of learning the game. So
hmm
in the backyard, or she had practice and stuff, I'll go watch, and then she'll shoot around stuff like that. And we'll play. But yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I wish I was a little older though, like when she was playing for real. But
Why? Because
it's
she was
cool.
taking advantage of you.
Yeah, of course. Nothing I could do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I used to look. We used to love seeing her play, man. She was just so competitive,
No, yeah, for sure.
right? I was like,
Yeah.
man. she was so intense.
Mhm.
Mike Hammond said, "Man, she was no joke.
Yeah, I see it.
She was so intense, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, somebody gonna have to wind her down, man.
Turn it down a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if she lost, she was wound up. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know how she wound down, man. Because no, she was competitive, and it was
Yeah,
good,
for
man.
sure.
Because
Yeah.
we got tradition to live up to. Winning.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and she wanted to be good, and she worked hard.
For sure.
You
Yep.
know, did you get any of that work ethic from her?
Uh, I guess I can say that. I seen her working like when I was younger, but I didn't know what it really was. I'm just watching young, just learning the game and seeing it. But I guess you can say that for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I know she has kids.
Hmm.
Well, I remember, going to the game. I don't know if it was your game. It may have been your game. You may have played at Stepinac, and I think she was coming to see
Stepping
you
out.
play. Remember Stepinac
I
High
know.
School? You never
No,
played
I
in
know
Stepinac?
stepping out. Yeah, I don't think I never played stepping out. Yeah, I
You,
know stepping out.
well,
Yeah.
somebody was playing at Stepinac because
Probably my nephew. Recent, not recent, of course. You said it was.
not recent, but I mean, I think I seen the varsity playing JV. I think JV played,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah, I
she
don't
was
remember.
there, and
Uh-huh.
she had, I think she had a little girl, a little boy,
Yeah.
right? And ooh, they had energy.
Yes. Those are
she,
my
she
my
she
niece
trying
and
to watch
nephew.
the game, and they
Yeah.
were everywhere. I was like,
Yeah.
man, now you got your work cut
Still
out for
have
you.
energy too. They're a little older now, but they still have energy. Yeah.
Any of them playing? You starting to pick
Yeah.
up the ball,
She has three right now. She has one that just left for prep school last night. He
right?
played on varsity at the high school. So now he's going to prep school for a year and see what he can do there. And she has the other two, a boy and a girl. They're still a little younger. The girl, her name is Lyric. She likes the game, but she's still young, so we're
Yeah.
still gonna see. And then the older one, Cashmere, he's 9, I think now.
Hmm.
We're still trying to figure out what he want to do. I don't know if he want to play basketball right now though. But
Yeah.
yeah, they just
And your nephew, yeah,
it's just it.
I
Yeah.
seen him play over the last couple of years. I mean,
Hmm.
did he ever ask any of your advice, or did you get a chance to work with them, speak into and help him out over there?
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I told him anytime he like when he made the team and stuff, when he finally was on the top, I told him anytime. This is when I would be in Europe. I never got to like see any of his high school games
Hmm.
because I'm always away playing. So I told him, just text me anytime if you need advice or anything. And
Right. And
yeah, of course we got. What did
I
you gonna
think I
say?
was seeing you guys work out a couple of weeks ago when I came up to speak at the high school. You was working out with him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, we definitely get in the gym now. He's older, so we play 1-on-ones. We work on our games. Just try and push each other. But
Hmm.
it's fun, having a nephew, somebody I've seen growing up from when he's a baby. Now he's older. Competing and play basketball at a high level. Just good to I can help him out, teach him some stuff, and just go from there. But we definitely been in the gym a lot this summer, so he should be ready at
Yeah.
his new destination. Yeah.
What do you think of his game?
He's very athletic. I like his game. Athletic. He energy too. He
Yeah.
play with good energy. He's a better basketball player. But I like his game. He has a lot more room to grow. So we'll just see how stuff turns out.
Yeah. No. I got a chance to watch him this year, man.
Yeah.
And of course they won the state championship.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then these guys over the last couple of years played in some very unique situations that you and I never had to deal with.
Like
And
COVID and stuff like that.
yeah, dealing with the
Yeah.
pandemic, shortened
Yeah.
seasons, and
Yeah.
different things
Yep.
like
Yep.
that. But yeah, they were able to manage their way through it.
Yeah.
And colleges have changed how to recruit, different things like that.
Everything changed now.
Yeah,
Man, everything.
with the portal.
Everything.
Yeah. I
They
mean,
they
freshmen.
paid now. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. I gotta Wish I
Hey,
was going to college
what
now.
you said? Oh, you said you wish you would go to school now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think I always wanted to. You always ultimately want to get paid for what you do.
Not for sure.
Yeah, but it's important. That love of the game, that passion.
Hmm.
And not have money be necessarily the motivating factor,
Yeah.
but the love of the game being a motivating factor. Somewhere down the
Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
getting paid, and it's just I was talking to Coach Semino the other day, and I was just feeling for. He got two really good guards
Hmm.
that are going to be seniors this year. I think
Yeah.
Eli and Dylan.
Yeah.
And with the way the portal and all those things are happening now, coaches are recruiting their players back. Coaches are recruiting the portal.
Hmm.
Coaches are
Wasn't this,
recruit.
or not to cut you off, wasn't this year like the most transfers?
Oh yeah, without a
What I read,
doubt.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's
Everybody's
crazy.
transferring. So
Yeah.
they're not even as tough. And I was speaking to Coach Semino about how tough it is for seniors coming out. Kids
Yeah.
coming out of school now, and because the coaches, number one, got to recruit their players to come back,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Then second, they gotta recruit the portal,
Yeah.
and most colleges now want seasoned players, so they looking more towards community college,
Hmm.
and then they started to look at freshmen because they said, look, we don't really have time to wanting to develop freshmen,
Yeah.
unless they're your elite,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
your elite player. So yeah, I mean, so this is different for. I mean, it's their time to experience whatever they're experiencing,
Yeah.
right? It's their time. We weren't born in this time.
Yeah. It was real different. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
real
yeah.
different.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just a different time. So talk to me in regards to your transition from uh, playing basketball, at the Boys and Girls Club,
Hmm.
right? And the did you always, was it on your mind as a young kid to play varsity or to go pro?
Growing up, it honestly was not on my mind. So growing up, I played almost every sport, like major sport. Yeah, baseball, soccer, football. Yeah, I played like all the major sports. So I was just trying to figure out, what sport I really liked the most. That I was having fun with the most. And when I chose basketball, it was like when I started becoming like very good at it. I never thought like, oh, I'm gonna play varsity. I wasn't even thinking that ahead, honestly. Like there's a lot of stuff in front of me, and I was just taking it step by step. And
Mhm.
as my game progressed, getting older, it's like, oh, that's the route I'm gonna take. I'm gonna go to high school. So eventually, of course, if I'm still playing basketball, I want to play varsity. But that came kind of early. I was like still in middle school when I made varsity, so that was just
So
something
you
different for me too. Traveling back and forth, like from middle school to high school for practice and stuff like that. But
so you
like
made
I said, it all worked.
varsity as an eighth grader.
Yeah, I did. I played JV for
Hmm.
half of the year, and then I forgot what game it was. They just called me in the locker room and said they moving me up, and then I was like, all right. And from the next day, I was going from Longfellow. I don't know if it's still called that right now. Longfellow Middle School, all the way to the Mount
Or
Vernon High.
Benjamin Banner.
Yeah, yeah, I think.
Yeah, one
I
of
think
them.
that's
One
what
of
it's
them.
called. Yeah,
Yeah. And
but
now, how was
but
that experience? Like, you got to get out of middle school and go up
yeah,
to the high school.
yeah, every day. But it was good, honestly, because I had a bus that took me. But it was good, just I guess going to school with my friends in middle school, and then I just had to leave right after, get on the bus, and then go to the high school, get ready for practice. And it's like I'm the youngest. The pace is different, everything. So I was just listening a lot when I first got on varsity, just trying to, get used to what was going on.
Hmm.
And I had some great leaders that was on the team at that time, so it wasn't that bad,
Hmm. Who,
adjusting.
who were the leaders?
That was Coburn senior.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Coburn, Daly, Malik. There's a lot of them. It was a lot of them that year.
Yeah, you mentioned something. You mentioned a word, right?
Word.
You mentioned pace,
Yeah.
right? And so it's not, you know, and in every transition, like you
Hmm.
transitioning from elementary school to middle school, it's
Yeah.
change of pace,
Exactly.
right? And then you go from seventh grade, eighth grade, change of pace.
Hmm.
You move out of middle school, you go to high school,
High school. Yeah.
change of pace. I mean, it's always changing,
Different. Yeah.
right? Yeah, and but you accelerated,
Hmm.
you know, by leaving middle school basketball and going on to JV,
Hmm.
change of pace. I mean,
Yeah.
it's different.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then leaving JV and going to varsity, uh, change of pace. I
Change your
mean,
pace. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, and that's why you say it's a, you know, when you throw out that word, words have so much
Yeah.
power. And when you said that word, I was like, yeah, man, that's what it is. It's a change of pace. And
Hmm.
but if some people can't make the adjustment,
Some people
and
can't
and
make the adjustment.
and you
Exactly.
made the adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And so, you know, having the experience on varsity and then playing Mount Vernon High School basketball, talk a little bit about that experience.
Playing when I finally was on
Yeah,
varsity. Like when I,
yeah,
yeah.
on varsity, playing for Mount Vernon. It's
Yeah.
not just, you know, see, you can go to high school and play,
Yeah. Exactly.
you know, but there are some high schools, you know what it is. I'll say it like this: not everybody can play for the New York Knicks,
Hmm.
right? You got to be a special player to excel with the New York Knicks,
Yeah.
to deal with New York, right?
Yeah.
And with the tradition of Mount Vernon, you know, the Mount Vernon tradition in terms
Hmm.
of success, right? You're not only just going to play varsity somewhere, you're going to play varsity for Mount Vernon High School,
My high school.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's like playing for the Knicks. You know, you got to
Yeah.
be a
Yeah.
special player to excel. Not
Hmm.
everybody excels at Mount Vernon High School. So talk about that transition, playing for Mount Vernon High School with all the tradition.
Hmm. Well, that experience was great, honestly. Like I said, when I started playing varsity in eighth grade, when I first got there, like I said, I was just listening, trying to take everything in. And then when I came to high school, I had a different role. There was a lot of seniors that following year, so I came off the bench, I think, that year, and who I had in front of me. Matter of fact, I just started playing a point guard too when I got on varsity. Before, I was always like the two guard.
Mm.
Like, I was always told in the point guard I was always playing with, like before that, so I always playing the two guard. But certain levels, the height that I am, I couldn't play the two guard at that level, so I had to start getting used to playing the point, and that's when I realized that this is going to be my position because I don't think I was going to grow that much anymore. And then I had to learn that position, running the team, controlling the game, pace, like you said,
Hmm.
everything runs. The point guard brings the ball up, so everybody listens to the point guard, coming down. So I just had to get comfortable doing that, talking more. And I felt like the coach gave me the keys to just play my game. Like I never had no worries about that. But besides that, I always put the work in. I always went hard. Everything we did, I never took a day for granted, honestly. And that transition, like I said, it was just amazing. Just getting better as the years going by, and with all the hype coming, like started getting scholarships and stuff like that. I just never got hype about it. I just always kept working and staying to what got me there.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna capitalize on another word: work. I mean,
work
I mean,
till this day.
still working,
Yeah, still
and
working.
people. You know, the craziest thing is that people pick up a ball, or no,
Hmm.
no, what it is. People think about, I want to be this,
Hmm.
right? But they don't think about the work.
to work. Like I had to learn everything I could do right now. Like my dribbling routine, everything I had to learn. Shooting. Growing up, I couldn't shoot like that. I was just so fast. I always go to the cup, layups and stuff like that. But like you said, as the level of the game, I had to learn my pull up, hit open shots. So I had to do a lot of work, like work on my form and stuff like that. But I mean, it's been working so far. So
Yeah, and but I'm gonna go back to that work because for everybody that's listening, these are nuggets. I mean, pace, work,
work.
right? I don't know anybody who's successful that didn't work, whether it
Yeah.
was academically or athletically
Hmm.
or in music or dance. You got to
You gotta
work,
work. You
and
gotta work.
that was one thing I admired about you because you and Losey and a number of other guys were on CJ's team,
Yeah.
right? And there were some people you know who practiced and some people who played,
Hmm.
but man, it looked like you were working hard. When I just come walk through for practices, man, you and I always believe that in my philosophy, there's no such thing as practice, right? It's,
Hmm. I
I'm
remember you
always
saying
thinking
this. I
about
remember you saying this the other couple weeks
it,
ago. Yeah.
it's only the game.
Yeah.
So whatever drill you're doing or whatever assignment you're doing, you're working because
Working.
right, you know. So when you get to the game, you put in the real work. Like
Yeah.
you played the real game in practice,
In
so
practice.
you
Exactly.
see
Yeah.
it. So some people practice and then they try to play the real game when the game comes. But in life, you gotta
Gotta
work.
think it through before.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I liked about you is putting in the work. People got to put in the
Hmm.
work, and even watching you were in the gym. I think the other day, right?
Hmm.
I don't know if I was up there. I was up there the other day. I
Yeah.
saw I saw Isaiah. I think you were there too.
No. Yeah. I was there. I
Yeah, yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And what you were doing? Putting in the work, right? Going
Yeah.
hard, sweating.
Going hard. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just going
Yeah.
hard. And is there any one person or a few people that you looked at and say, "Oh, I got to work like that"? I mean, anybody you pick things up along the way that made you want to work harder?
Uh, some of my teammates, honestly, growing up, like in Boys and Girls Club level, like I told you, I didn't grow up on that side of town. So when I first came there to play basketball, it was like an already established crew. I was going there,
Hmm.
trying out stuff. So I didn't know anybody. Like I seen, how some players were, just working out, going through the stuff. So I just like wanted to just kind of stay on that level. And then after that, moving forward, I'll say for sure Coburn gave me, some motivation to just work at a certain level because he was always active in practice, talking. Everybody on the court always knew what was going on because Coburn, was letting them know. And I just picked that up from early when I got moved up. And I told you I was just more listening because I didn't play like that when I got moved up. They didn't really need me. They just wanted me there, just learn as
Hmm.
quick as I can. And I feel like Coburn, the way how he was working, it just stuck with me. And then moving up, I'm going to like different camps. Went to LeBron James camp coming up, Nike camps. I'm seeing other players in my class that's from all around the world. We all in one gym and just seeing how they work. So
Hmm.
stuff like that I was picking up. Like I was seeing how I know probably a player that's somewhat close as me and just seeing how he's working when we doing drills and stuff like that. So it just always made me want to just go hard whenever I'm basically on the court, either just playing or working on my game. Because there's always somebody out there trying to take your spot, whether you
Yeah,
believe it or
yeah.
not. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah. It's
and,
crazy out here.
and so, which year, junior, senior year, where you knew like, hey, man, I'm as a high school player, I'm at that peak right now, and schools are starting to really focus in, and you're starting to focus on, what's your next step. Um, so was it junior year, senior year? You felt like you there.
As far as like my game, I'll
Your
say,
game,
yeah.
school, yeah.
As far as my game, I'll say junior year was probably my best individual year in high school. I was just, I don't know, it was just
You
different.
said
I
you
was
didn't
just
know.
locked in. Yeah, I was just real locked in. I don't know. We didn't that year. We didn't win states though. That was my junior year. But individually wise, yeah, that was I think my best year. I just had that feeling. I knew I put in a lot of work beforehand to get where I was at, and then it was just all clicking, and that made me not then like want to stop working. Just want, like, all right, how can I get better, more better, to elevate my game even more. So junior year, that's when I knew, as far as the game wise, I knew I was ready to go play at the next level, at the high level. But before that, honestly, I was getting my first scholarship in ninth grade.
Where was
That
that?
came up. I honestly can't remember.
Man, you can't remember the first
Yeah,
your first letter?
yeah.
I know my first letter.
Oh no, not first letter. I don't remember that either. But I was the first scholarship. Yeah, I don't want to tell you the wrong school, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
ninth grade. So that's when I realized
Somebody's interested.
teams on the next level. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. It's interesting. So I got to just keep doing great things on the court and off the court, of course, to attract more. And that's what just kept happening. My junior year, I had a lot of offers, and I told you I was locked in, on the court, like as far as my game and stuff. So that's when I say junior year. That's what I think I was ready for the next level. And that following year, we won everything. I feel like we put everything together, and we just won everything. That was the funnest year.
Yeah.
Playing varsity was my senior year. Yeah, that was a good season.
Who was on your team then?
It was me, Clee, Damani. These are all the seniors I'm naming. Jamel, Walker, Horace, Kenny, Adam. There's a couple more, but that was it was my senior year.
Yeah,
that was my best year for sure.
And for the young people that may be listening, or parents that have young potential student athletes, what adjustments, you talk about working in working in the gym. What adjustments did you have to make academically? I mean, because one thing about an athlete, you got to find the balance between the two.
For sure.
Right. You can't have one without the other, no ball, no book, no book, no ball, so
either way it goes.
Yeah. So talk about those
School,
adjustments.
the academic part. I mean, for me, it was kind of tough because I realized I had to just lock in more, for school, but it wasn't that bad. After school, this is elementary, I'll go home, get my homework done. After that, that's when I have like basketball practice and stuff. And it was just more like a mental thing, honestly. The work wasn't that hard not to figure it out. You just had to go in there and not get in trouble, just do it. But once I knew I had to, go to school to play basketball, I started taking school way more serious and make sure I had to do what I had to do.
Right.
From elementary to middle, high school, and college.
Yeah.
So it was a lot though, like managing time. Like I remember you said something about how the time management too. You just gotta, when you're not playing, you got free time. That's the time you gotta just lock in and study. In college, if you need a tutor for anything, any subject, all you gotta do is just like one text away, and that'll be everything taken care of. So you had a lot of help. So if you failed the class, you basically wasn't trying. That's what I'm basically trying to say, because you had a lot of help for you to get to what you need to do.
And there's another word, help.
Yeah.
Right. Because sometimes, man, particularly African American men, particularly.
Yeah.
Right. It be help there, right? But we don't want it. We got pride, right?
Yeah. I don't need it. Yeah, I know.
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I'm good. I can handle that class, man. Until you like, oh, now I'm, I need this now.
Yeah.
So now you looking for help, right?
Yeah.
And I used to say, to my kids every now and then, nobody gets through life without help, right? We all need help.
Yeah.
We need help to get through high school, right? We need help to get through college, right? We shouldn't have that kind of pride. where we don't need help. Everybody needs help,
Yeah.
and don't be ashamed to get help. I'll tell you honestly, man, I know some people that are just great students. They
Hmm.
smart, right?
Yeah.
But they always going to a place to help them get
Hmm.
better. Yeah. I mean, they putting in the work, but they said, look,
Yeah.
okay, I need some help, and they smart. And so, yeah, don't neglect the help, because Jabarie was talking about you get help.
No, yeah, it's there for you. It's like
Yeah.
it's part of the program. So if you just
And so you're in the senior year, you're being recruited.
hmm
Can you name the 3-5 schools you narrow it down to, and then finally making a decision?
yeah, my top five: UConn, West Virginia, UCLA, and that was the final three. I'll give you, that was the final three.
Mm-hmm.
That part, the recruitment part, was stressful. That was stressful because there's a lot of phone calls. A lot of coaches tell you the same stuff you want to hear. So it's just like, man, who who do I pick? That was kind of stressful, but at the end of the day, it was fun. Like, to experience that, you being recruited at a high level by these coaches, talking to some of these, Hall of Fame coaches, calling Coach Samino Bar, such on the phone. I'm just like, wow. But that part about it was very fun, but it was stressful. But
Yeah,
it was
and
fun. It
and
definitely was fun
it was
going through
interesting.
that
I don't
part.
know how we get these connections.
Yeah.
Uh, I get a call from my former agent, and
Mm-hmm.
his father was the commissioner of recreation, John Brinker Sr., right?
Mm-hmm.
And John Brinker Jr., right, was
Yeah.
the biggest contributor to UCLA basketball.
Okay.
He left with his mom, at so he didn't get to go to school here. Mom moved to California. He becomes a big, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a lawyer.
Yeah.
In the same instance, UCLA, he was up here when UCLA was up here
Okay.
recruiting you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, you remember little skinny guy with glasses. He was with the coach. He came up to the high school. I don't know.
I
They
remember. I
watched.
remember them. Yeah.
Yeah,
What was I forgot the head coach name that was there at the time, but I remember when they came up.
and it was interesting, the connection, because um, John Brinker being a supporter of UCLA,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I'm talking to John, who used to be my agent, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I mentioned to him that Losey was interested in going to Occidental College,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then all of a sudden he was like, I graduated from Occidental College. You know,
Wow.
I sit on the board of Occidental College in California. And
Yeah.
then he's connected to UCLA. He called me about you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey man, you know anything about this young man, Jabarie Hinds?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was just nice to be able to, give, accreditation to,
Yeah.
the kind of young man that you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you were at that time, to be able to talk proudly about somebody who worked hard,
Yeah.
seeing you come through the Boys and Girls Club, seeing you work hard in the classroom,
Mm-hmm.
work hard on the court, and that these types of individuals,
Yeah.
these coaches and individuals, want you to attend their school. So
Yeah.
UCLA, West
West
Virginia,
Virginia and UConn was
and
top three.
UConn. So
Yeah.
I mean, you came down to what made you, how did you figure out your choice?
All right. Well, I went on a visit to both UConn and West Virginia. After the West Virginia visit, I was supposed to go to UCLA,
Hmm.
but I ended up committing to West Virginia. But the UConn visit was very good. That was the year right before Kemba went off. I had the
Mm-hmm.
historical year. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's like my host, so I was just kind of hanging out with him. He was telling me about the school. Uh, I played with the guys down there. Everything was good. I feel like it was a great location. I'm far away from home, not too close, but I'm right there. And then after that, I went to West Virginia. That was a whole different ball game out there. The visit was crazy. It was obviously you went to the school too, so but Morgantown was just crazy. I like the energy, and I felt like it was an opportunity to go right into a high major school and play right away. So I feel like that made me choose West Virginia.
Yeah. And you there with the logo?
Yeah, with the logo.
So
That
tell
was a
me,
good day. That was
yeah,
a good day.
tell me what that experience was like. Talking to Jerry.
It was dope. We had a workout that morning, and then it was a football game going on later on that day, and then we were just hanging out after. We ate and stuff, and then he was upstairs. I remember one of my teammates came down like, "Yo, Jerry West upstairs." Like, what? For real? I heard he got dressed. Of course, there's a lot of people around him and stuff like that. And then he eventually met all of us, and then I met him. That was a great experience, just meeting the person who's on the logo of the NBA. And we talked for a little bit, and then I just asked him for a picture. I just kept it moving. But that was
Yeah. I mean,
a moment.
That was one of my reasons why I went.
Yeah.
I was looking at same schools, similar.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't looking at UConn, but West Virginia, North Carolina State, UCLA were my top 4 picks. And I don't know what happened. My first letter as a sophomore came from Kansas. With the crazy bird on it, the colorful bird. I used to walk with that thing hanging out my book, man. Like, yo, look at it, man. I'm being recruited.
You have the logo at the top of the
page. So when the coach came and he played a film, and it said, and West Virginia's greatest basketball player, Jerry West. I was like, Jerry West went there because I didn't know. I knew he played in, but I didn't know he played for West Virginia. So that automatically, my whole focus of all the schools went to Jerry West. I was like, oh, Jerry West went there. And probably if they had said at Kansas, Wilt Chamberlain went here, JoJo White went here, I might have changed my mind, or something like that. I really wanted, my ultimate goal was to go to North Carolina State. I was a big David Thompson fan. Skywalker.
I never had a dream school.
You never have a dream school?
Yeah, I never had a dream school.
Man, that I met Jerry a bunch of times. The most unique thing, the end of my sophomore year, I get a call, and he said, "Hey, this is Jerry West." I'm like, who? He's like, yeah, this is Jerry West. Can you meet me over at the gym? So I was like, okay.
If I ran there,
no, ain't no running. Ain't running from the dorm to the to the Coliseum. You need transportation.
Transportation.
So
little ways.
I get over there, man. He said, like, get dressed. So we went through this 2-3 hour workout. He was showing me all these, different techniques and different things like that, man. He took. It was just amazing, man. I was like, wow. I was like in heaven, man. Jerry West called me up. The logo called me. So
something good.
Yeah, something good. So talk to me about that whole West Virginia experience and the transition. Because talk to me a little bit about that experience.
So when I got to West Virginia, my parents, dropped me off and left. It was just like, wow. I was just in Mount Vernon, chilling, used to everything. And now I'm in Morgantown, West Virginia, just got to figure it out on my own. But honestly, the transition wasn't bad at all because in high school I always used to travel, with Mount Vernon Knights. Coached and took us to a lot of places. So like staying away from home wasn't that bad for me when I first started my freshman year in college. At first it was different, just getting up every day like, dang, I'm not home. But after a while I got used to it and it helped me, just grow even more. I had to figure some stuff out on my own, stuff like that. But family, they was one call away. So like I said, it just made me grow more. And the whole experience at West Virginia, freshman year, that was my best year. I played there for 2 years, but I feel like my freshman year is better than my sophomore year. That was my freshman year was Kev's senior year.
Okay,
It
yeah.
wasn't team wasn't that good, but Kev was dominating that year. We averaged like 20 and 10 in the Big East. I think that was like the last year the Big East was the Big East. And then they started switching it over. Then my sophomore year, I played in the Big 12. But going back to my freshman year, I started. I played good minutes. Just trying to control the team at point guard spot. And we didn't, like I said, finish out that well that season. But it was just a good learning experience playing college basketball at that high of a level. Just seeing what I had to work on moving forward to try and be better for the following year. My sophomore year came around. It was a kind of totally different team. Kev was gone and Truck and a couple other seniors. So it was just kind of like a whole new team, trying to figure out our roles and stuff like that. But my numbers went down. I don't know what was going on. Like I was still in the gym working out. My confidence was kind of shut down and I couldn't really figure it out. So I didn't have that well of a sophomore year. So after that season, that's when I decided to transfer out, just try and get a fresh start somewhere else to finish out my eligibility. And that's when I transferred to UMass. But West Virginia as a whole, that was a great, experience going there, just, being away from home and then, trying to figure out to play basketball. I wouldn't give it up. It was a great experience.
Yeah. Sure. What about Coach Huggins, man? I mean, I played with Coach, so
yeah. Coach Huggins, he's a good guy, on the court, just tough coach. You got to be like mentally strong, to just play for him and just do what he want. That's just how he coach. He's not changing the way how he coach for nobody because that's how he's been successful throughout these years. But now he was a good coach. He was just hard on his players. Some players came out of the program, couldn't really handle it, stuff like that. But as far as that, he made you, just grow up and take the game more serious because if he didn't do what he wanted, he wasn't gonna play.
Right.
Yeah,
And
but
do you
overall,
think
he's a great guy.
Yeah, do you think that that experience helped you handle the next transition better?
100%, yes, for sure. The next experience, the Coach Kellogg, that was my coach at UMass. He's kind of opposite of Coach Hugs. He's like a player's coach.
Right.
So so everything was kind of just smoother and easier. UMass had a great skill development all season. So I got better that summer. I got there, just it was a whole different vibe. I never been like really to Massachusetts like that before going to UMass. I probably played in like one AU tournament like a long time ago, so I didn't really know what to expect. But I went on a visit. It was good, and I just chose to play there and finish out my college career.
Did you consult in like CeeLo? Did you have a conversation with him, or you just
For sure.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Before I made the decision, I tapped in with CeeLo. He told me all about the school and stuff like that, and I just moved forward from there. But I definitely talked to CeeLo before I made my decision to go there.
Yeah, and I could see where, and I know how demanding Coach Hugs is.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard me say it to you a bunch of times. You can play for Coach Huggins, you can play anywhere,
Yeah.
and there are certain disciplines and structures and different things that
Exactly.
you learn, and then there's a certain demand, and
Hmm.
I think that in your 2 years there, in spite of the struggles in the sophomore years, because you're trying to find chemistry.
Exactly.
You had with Truck and Kevin, you had this structure, and
Experience already. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and experienced
Hmm.
guys there, and then you go into the sophomore year. I think it's kind of a push for you going into the sophomore year. Now you got to be the leader.
Yeah.
You taking Truck's place.
Hmm.
You got to be that guy, but
Hmm.
you got to do it in a way that the coach wants you to do it. And
Exactly. You
yeah,
can't do it
and
my way. Yep. Yep.
yeah, and but that structure and discipline as you journey to the next level about work.
Work.
Yeah, you know how to go there and work. I mean,
Yeah.
you know how to go in there and put in what's necessary, which kind of
Hmm.
help you make the transition. You know,
For sure.
yeah, yeah. And so talk a little bit more about having that last 2 years for you. Um,
Well, at UMass.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When I decided to go to UMass, I wanted to just have fun, have more fun than I had, playing the game of basketball than I had my sophomore year at West Virginia. So that's what I was worrying about. When I got to have to sit out 1 year, I wasn't that bad as I thought. The transfer rule to
Hmm.
transfer that at the time you had to sit out 1 year before you could play. So I was
Yeah.
just working out and being on the scout team in practice. That was basically like my games. Then whenever they used to leave, I had to stay on campus. I couldn't travel with the team and just go to school. So after my sit out year, that's when I finally got to play. It was like that was the best day of my life when I finally was eligible again to play. But yeah, so I just had to find a routine because I didn't play a game in a whole year. So I just had to figure it out. But I felt like my last year at UMass was my best year, probably overall in college.
Mm.
And I just played more free. I kind of like figured everything out. And after that, that's when the real world began. Figuring out what I was going to do as far as like basketball. I hired an agent. I didn't know anything. That's like hiring an agent was like picking a school again. It was a whole bunch of
Yeah.
agents just contacting you, telling you, hey, we get you deals here, da da da. Let's tell you what you want to hear. So I just had to think that through, and I went with somebody, and then I was just home training after college. I graduated and then came back home. I was just training, trying to wait for a deal, and then that deal finally came. My first year pro, I played in Kosovo.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
transition me into. Oh, I just want to say this before.
Hmm.
Did you think, like, during that year you sat out, right? Couple of things. Did it make
Yeah,
you hungry, right? And then number two, how were you as a student?
that transition of sitting out definitely made me hungry because it's like you can't play. Whether you put that whole year, you can't play. You're just working on your game. So your confidence is up. You're up to par with your game, but you can't display it
Right.
and go out there and play and help your team because that's just the rule. So it definitely made me hungry, going into that following year and I could
Yeah.
start playing again. And me in school, I was average. Like I said, once I knew I had to, you know, uh, play basketball, and that's when I realized, I had to take school seriously. But yeah, I never like failed. I always was on top of my stuff. Like I said,
Mhm.
when I needed help, I asked, got the help I needed, whether it's, and that was that. But school was never, I was never like on probation or anything for failing classes. I
Yeah.
always was on top of my stuff.
And yeah, and the reason why I asked the question because when
Yeah.
I finished playing some years down the road, I was at the Boys and Girls Club, and I
Hmm.
started to go to school for um, my masters, right? And so the crazy part was, um, while I was growing up,
Mhm.
even though I wasn't on varsity, I was still playing at the boys club, right?
Yeah.
And so I was always playing and going to school,
Yeah.
right? And I've never, you never find yourself in a situation where you didn't have to worry about something else while you're doing school,
Yeah.
right? And so when I was no longer playing and I went to school, man, I mean, I excelled in school. I mean, because that was
So,
my
that
main
was your time.
focus,
Yeah. Exactly.
right? That's
Yeah.
all I was focusing on
Yeah.
was writing the
School.
papers, going to school, listening to the teacher, not
Yeah.
thinking about like I gotta go to practice,
Yeah. It was
stuff
just.
like that. So that's why I asked you the question about that year, sitting out that year.
Mhm.
If you were more focused about in school, did you? He's like, okay, I can't play ball. Let me zero in on this.
Oh, okay. My fault. I didn't know you was talking about that particular year. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was definitely focused because that was my transfer year. Like, come from a different school, so
Hmm.
I made sure I wasn't trying to fail. I just got to the school, so I was focused for sure. But
Right.
it
Yeah.
was rough sometimes though. Like I done had some times I had to be on a plane heading to Kansas. I'm on a plane typing a paper. Some teachers didn't give me that extra time to do it. They didn't really care about the the game and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's been
Yeah.
some times where I had to like really lock in and figure things out. But other than that, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, you got all the help you needed.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
was excited, man. I even posted it when you graduated. You had your cap and
yeah,
gown.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
I remember you came to see me too when at
yeah,
West Virginia. We went
yeah,
out to what Cracker Barrel, ate and stuff. Remember that?
yeah. I had to take
Yeah,
you and Taylor out when
yeah,
me and my wife came down, and
yeah.
yeah, we had to take care of you guys. You
No, I
Mount
appreciate that.
Vernon.
Appreciate
So
that.
yeah, we had to definitely do that, and
Yeah,
yeah, that was a special time to see you graduate and stuff like that. Remembering when
no, yeah,
remember the little guy
for
running
sure.
around in the gym,
Yeah, yeah. No, that was a
and
special day though. Yeah, it
yeah,
was.
and you don't know,
Hmm.
because I've seen hundreds of thousands of
No, yeah,
young
of
men
course.
coming through the boys club, young ladies coming through the boys club, and you sowing, laying
Hmm.
foundation, sowing along with your parents, along with the
Yeah,
community, and you just don't know where it ends.
yeah.
How it how the plane lands.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was important to see you graduate, walk across the
Yeah.
stage, man. It's a proud moment for me. I know CJ and Coach
Not for
Mino,
everybody, but yeah, for
your
sure.
mom and
Yeah,
dad, your
yeah.
family is just a proud moment, man.
It
Because
was. Yeah,
yeah, that was just powerful, man. To
appreciate
see
it.
you make that, and then the transition. Did you have an opportunity um, in terms of the NBA? I know that's always a dream. What
Hmm.
was that thought process coming out of UMass? Um, you know, was there any agents talking about draft, or are you talking to anybody, going to any trainings?
Yeah, coming out of college, wasn't really no talks about the draft, but I had a couple agents talking about, they can get me some workouts with some teams and stuff like that, but it never happened. Never went through. So it got to a point where I was kind of like less focused about that because I wasn't nothing happening as far as like the NBAs. And then I just started pushing more like towards overseas, see what I can do, just get a deal. I just wanted to get started over there just to get my name up.
Hmm.
Certain players, it's high level players, they go overseas, they start at a good level, go up, go up. Some players just need the opportunity, play somewhere, get the film, and just keep progressing. So I was
Right.
just working out. Yeah, that summer I was just working out, just waiting on a deal. That's when I was like, all right, I'm willing to go overseas if a good deal comes, and that's what I was just getting ready for. And that call came. I felt like it was never gonna come. It's like you just working out, you just writing your agent every other day. What's going on? What's the update? They telling me whatever. Nothing happens. And it was one day I just finished the workout and I was stretching after, and I got a call from my agent. That's when I got my first professional contract to play in Kosovo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk to me about Kosovo. Talk to me
Oh
about
man,
that experience. And Kosovo is where
in the Balkans.
in
And
the
they're like
Balkans.
Serbia, yeah, Balkan area. That's what they call it, part of
Okay.
Europe. Yeah,
So
but
tell
no,
me
it was
about
a real. real crazy experience. Just coming from the States alone, not even college, whatever. Just coming from the States, it was just different. Everything. Like once I leave, once I left New York to go fly over there, and like I got off the plane, everything was just different. The airport, everything, the food, it was just like, wow. I know I traveled and stuff in college and high school, but this was just, I'm being in space for 8-9 months by myself. But once again, I figured it out, just day by day thing. I had my days. I'm like, man, I want to go home. This ain't for me. But Kosovo, I say it's like a third world country. It wasn't a very poor country, but the basketball was okay. The level was all right to start off with. But I didn't really know anything. I just wanted to get going, start playing. Get my name out there on that type of level. And I think that's what I did. I used the opportunity to just get film, win games. And my first year playing professional, I won a championship. So I feel like that was a relief for me, just winning. A couple years before that, I wasn't really, winning, but I was individually doing my thing. But that was fun to go through all that first year, thug it out. That's what I'm proud of myself about, just thugging it out. Because there's a lot of players that come over there and just can't do it.
Right.
And players come and go.
Right.
Yeah,
was there a language barrier?
Yeah, it was. In Kosovo was a lot of people that speak English. Like, so I used to walk around with my translator, supermarket, like translating stuff. Yeah, it was crazy. There's only a couple people I met that actually speak good enough English. And on teams, when the coach don't speak that good of the English, they always have like a translator just right next to me. Coach talking whatever language, and the translator just talking English to me.
You ever had a point where like I'm just gonna ignore what he said? I don't understand.
No. Not to be rude, but it's just hard. Like if somebody don't understand you, you understand them. Even you might have the picture right there. They just looking at you like, well, what are you charging? Like, it's okay. I just try to figure it out. I done had some moments like that.
But so after Kosovo, you went. What was next?
Yeah, Hungary. I played Hungary or Hungary, how you pronounce it. Yeah, I played there for year 2. I played on a nice, decent team. It was a better situation. Everything was better. When you win in Europe, you're always gonna get like a good job the following year. So we, like I said, we won the championship for the Kosovo League. And I came home that summer. That was like my first summer back home from playing pro. That was the best feeling though. Get off that plane, come back to New York. Like, man, they did make me go home though for Christmas and New Year's. So that wasn't bad. Yeah. They gave me like 10 days, so I got to see my family, spend the holidays, and then after that, I came back, and then I didn't come back to like May. But yeah, but yeah, talking about Hungary, that's why I played a year 2. Yeah, the situation was just everything was better, from like just the country, the basketball level, the competition, housing, everything. I feel like I made a huge step from where I started. So I felt
housing was rough in Kosovo.
No.
Okay.
No, housing was good. Yeah, they took care of you. I'm talking about the surrounding, the way how it looked.
Mm-hmm.
It just looked like it looked crazy where I was at. But yeah, year 2, everything was better, and then that just gave me more confidence, and just kept me motivated. Just keep going, just keep working. Seeing me progress so early in my pro career.
Right.
There's been days I've been working out before I signed to Kosovo. I was like, man, I don't know. Somebody going,
like, where's that at?
Yeah, you just working out, just chilling, just waiting. But it happened, and then after that, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and then you Hungary, and from Hungary,
Hungary. And year 3 was Poland. After Poland, year 4 was.
My brother was in Poland.
Yeah, I played in Poland for 3 years. Played in Poland for 3 years, not 3 years straight though. Poland and then Macedonia. Yeah, Macedonia is very similar to Kosovo. That was a part of my career. That was year 4 or 5. I'm like, it was a solid deal, but I'm like, dang, why am I going back to that area? Because it's right near Kosovo, like a 2-hour drive. Yes, they right. So I'm like, man, I don't know, but I took it. I ended up I didn't like it like that. So I was there for like 5 months, and then I finished up that year in Turkey. Turkey was love.
I
Going
heard,
from there to Turkey, oh man, I love Turkey.
I heard Turkey was
Everything,
nice, man.
yeah, Turkey was love.
And
Yeah,
how was the resources? And I mean, did he get the resources, get him to
what you
pay,
mean?
get better?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Like that's what. Before I started playing pro, I was really talking to CeeLo a lot
Hmm.
about the pro level, about stuff like that. You know, as the year goes by, what do you expect from different teams and stuff like that. But yeah, as the years been going by, the pay been getting a little better. I done had some bumps. It was a little roller coaster, but right now, signed to play in Egypt this year. So about to start year 7, and I'm just excited, and I can't wait to get out there and just start it up out there.
Yeah, when you got to leave.
Second week September. So it's winding down. Yeah, yeah,
Oh man, and this is a whole new.
yeah. This is a whole new market. Yeah, whole new everything. So it's gonna be new for me too. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
that's cool though, man. I mean,
No,
you
yeah, it
know,
is. Sure, sure.
yeah, you know, you love to play basketball, right? You know,
Hmm.
everybody want to play, you know, play in the league, but you know, when you get to play, and I've known a number of players from Mount
Hmm.
Vernon and other places who played in different countries,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
and you know, they had to go through a process that you know, similar to the process you went through.
Hmm.
You don't know, it's hit and miss. You know,
Yeah.
my brother
It's
was
hit or
in
miss.
Poland, Philippines. You know, he's like, okay, you know, so
It's just different everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and like I said, today you have more players having those experiences in other countries,
No, for sure.
whereas when we came up,
It was limited.
yeah, some players
Yeah,
were having it, and we were all questioning whether or not,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, that's the right move to make. Is it going to be
Hmm.
safe? You know, all those
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
different things that are going on. Am I going to get paid? You know,
yeah.
stuff like
Okay.
that. But man, you know, whew, I do appreciate you. And
Thank you.
so here's before I close out of here. So yeah, work. We were talking about that earlier. You
Yeah,
know, yeah. How you keeping that body right? You know,
I have to. Yeah, I have to.
yeah.
I have to. Want to keep playing at a certain level.
You got to keep working.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, working, keeping your body right. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. It's part
yeah.
of work. It's part of work. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So what do you see? You got a degree. What did you get a degree in?
African American studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when ball is over,
Hmm.
right? When it's over, are you transitioning now? Are you thinking about it now about what it is that you would love to do once you finish playing ball?
Yeah, I don't have anything stamped yet, but like I'm 100% sure I'm gonna do. But I'm honestly thinking about the training aspect.
Hmm.
I train so much, I feel like I can help a lot of kids
Right.
get more comfortable with the game. So I'm thinking about a situation I'm gonna do with that. And there's other stuff that I'm gonna try and work on and see what I can do. But for now, that's my main thing. It's probably like the training, try and get into training.
Right. So
Yeah.
would you go back to school and would you
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't
go
want to
back to
coach though. I don't want to coach. But
right.
like skill development, I'll do that. But I don't want to coach.
Right.
I don't know why.
So you don't want to coach in an organization. You want to try to create training on your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
So that's something I'm thinking.
talking about being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, so that's another mindset. Something to be thinking
Exactly.
about. You know,
Yeah,
you
no,
got
for sure.
you gonna be a long way away. So
Hmm.
you better start writing those things down.
But I still got to think about it. Yep, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're still young,
Hmm.
so yeah, you gotta get it out of you.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I want to thank you for coming on.
I
Before I close
appreciate
out.
it.
Yeah, man. I just want people to, for people who are out there, man, see yourself be a young man, grow up.
Hmm.
You know, fulfilling your dream, doing something, accomplishing something like playing at the highest level in terms of basketball,
Mm.
graduating from college, man. I mean, I think when we come up, man, we don't know what college, and
Yeah.
uh, and then do it,
Yeah.
is a very powerful thing, and then the experience. Nobody's been. Some people haven't been out Mount Vernon, so
No, exactly. We didn't
you
even talk about that. About the
yeah
experience.
yeah
Wow.
you're going about getting this wonderful experience, and so in my closing here,
Hmm.
you give me a moment here. In my closing, let me give you my books
Hmm.
of the week. I'm gonna,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna give you my books of the week here and see if right. This is my books of the week by Jim Collins, from good to great. I mean, when you look at why companies get better over time, and it's
Hmm.
not just companies, but it's people. How
Yeah.
do I be? I'm good, but I want to be great. I
Yeah.
don't know. Most people don't want to be. You don't just want to be good.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah.
Most of us want to be great. I
Great.
mean, and
Exactly.
then his other book over here, I think he had another book over there. Um, if you can bring that back real quick, right? Built to last. I
Hmm.
mean, successful habits for visionary companies. And this is just when you hear these stories, you hear companies, right?
Yeah.
Think about you know, here you are enduring,
Yeah.
right? That's important. These are my books of the week. Here's my word of the week.
I
Great.
thought
Tony tell
great.
you, I
Yeah.
want to be great. And
Yeah.
they tell you, Tony Tiger said, be great.
Yeah.
That's my word of the week. And then my affirmation, the Hill and Pierce Hopper affirmation quote moment. Make up your mind today to be happy. Only you only have the power to do this. You only have the power to do this. And it's
Mhm.
easy if you know that the only difference between happy people and unhappy people is an attitude.
Attitude. Wow.
Right. Yes. And
Sounds
then
nice.
finally, yeah. And then finally, my music. Right. Y'all remember
Mhm.
this? MC Hammer.
You kids.
You can't touch this. I mean, anybody know any other Hammer songs? Right. Any other Hammer songs? Too legit. And then, I've been making calls since this came out. Right. The New
I'm gonna
York
watch this
City.
when I get to Egypt. I didn't watch it.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
New York City Point Gods,
Yeah.
right? I watched it a couple of weeks ago. I really truly enjoyed it, and as I say on this story, on this show each and every
Mhm.
week, as you notice with Jabarie, he has a story. Everybody has a story,
Yeah.
right? Everybody has a story to tell. And we don't always grow up, and it's easy. Like
Yeah.
Jabarie was saying tonight, that, man, it take work,
Work.
right?
Yeah.
You just don't wake up one day and you going overseas to play basketball.
No.
It takes work. So um, yeah, I'm looking forward to when Mount Vernon's movie comes out. His
Mhm.
documentary comes out about the history of Mount Vernon, in basketball and the stories that come along
It's
with
gonna be
that.
dope. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's gonna be
dope.
hot. We've been
Yeah.
waiting for about 20 years.
No, I know.
We just need to get it done.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
gonna be dope.
So, and then I want to, we throw this around, this word around so loosely, right? When we say who's the GOAT, right? Well, in tennis, I want to pay tribute and a shout out to Serena Williams, right?
Serena
Because
Williams.
she is truly the GOAT.
Interesting.
And I mean, Jabari is not experiencing this, but all good. Some good things come to an end,
Yeah.
and then some new things start,
Yeah.
right? So, and unfortunately, in sports, it's not like acting. You can
Hmm.
you can act until you're 100, right? in sports where you have to do something athletically, the time always catches up with us.
Yeah.
And she's been great. I believe that, before Serena leaves, she's going to do something very special, but we want to pay tribute to Serena today. Just an amazing athlete, male or female.
Female, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just awesome. And, we're looking forward to next week. I got a good friend of mine from Mount Vernon, in the music industry. Mr. Terry Hinds is going to be on next week. He's out in Dallas. Hey, everybody that love them Cowboys, he's out in Dallas. He's out in Texas, and he's going to be on the show. But I want to thank Jabarie. Before we jump off here, man, can you give a word of advice to some young person or some parent maybe listening that they can share with their young person about, growing up and wanting to be successful?
My advice to your question is just keep your kid, or if the kid is listening to me, just stay active, just stay out of trouble, listen to your parents, and if it's something you want to do in life, want to be good at it, you just got to work and be confident and work consistently.
Awesome.
That's my advice.
So again, I want to say thank you very much. Number one,
I appreciate it.
To Jabarie, man. We're going to continue to follow you, man, doing great exploits.
Yeah.
And to each and every one of you out there, I mean, God bless you. I love you, man. And it is my pleasure to bring the blueprint to you each and every week. Man, I look forward to seeing you next week. God bless you. And I always say, right, make every day a masterpiece.
Remember that.
We really hope you enjoyed this episode of Lowe's More, the Blueprint Podcast. Stay connected and follow us at our website, www.lowesmore.com. That's LOWESMOORE.com. You can also join the discussion on Twitter at Lowe's More and on Facebook at Lowe's More Jr. As always, thank you for pushing your mindset towards a better reality. This concludes the most thought-provoking portion of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast to stay fully up to date with everything we're up to. Until next time, be kind to yourself and each other.
What they teaching is a joke. I ain't buying it like I'm broke. Insufficient funds for insignificant.